shorty bad, but we don't talk about it. She got a dumpy in the back, you gotta walk around it. She got expensive outfits, so tell the kids get out the house, I'm about to get you out it.
You're a forger, but she ain't faking this. Straight sipping, got her begging for a taste of it. She experienced, she taken to the base of it. She swallow it all, she ain't into wasting shit. Her waist, her hips, my favorite. It's all divine, her face admits she wants to sit on top of mine. I may commit and make her rich as dollar signs and take her coast to coast, new bar to Olivine.
Oh, Mamacita, she a diva. Yeah, yeah. Said she don't do shit for free, but she a freak. Oh, Mamacita.
Renata Glasc, or Renata Glasgow if you're Scottish, is my most recent guilty pleasure. Emphasis on the pleasure, because goddamn she bad.
Who said Chemtech can't be beautiful?
You ever wanted to play an enchanter support that verbally and physically abuses your ADC? That's Renata. You force people to kill themselves, your shield also does damage, you have the most aggressive handshake, you just have straight up a gun, and you grant every League player's dream and let them kill their teammates. Every enchanter is a sub, but Renata will beat the shit out of you if you don't put on the dog collar. You force your teammates to go in, you make them die for you, and you call them a good boy if they manage to live after that. You have a duty to belittle your allies and call them cowards if they don't go in after you put your buffs on them. It is a really toxic relationships where other supports would be like, oh, don't worry, baby, I'll be here for you. Need a shield, a heal? How about some milk and cookies? Renata just goes, you piece of fucking shit. How dare you bitch out when I put my W on you? You're dirt beneath my heel, but I bet you like that, wouldn't you, you goddamn degenerate? It's kind of hot.
Work for me or work against me. Doesn't matter. Everyone comes to my side eventually.
Your passive is leverage. Your auto attacks are empowered and deal 1 to 2% HP magic damage based on your level that also scales with your AP. It also marks the target for 6 seconds that if an ally damages the marked target, the damage is repeated. This passive is just kind of worse Leona passive, but since you're an enchanter meant to counter other enchanters, you get away with it. If you run Shield Bash as one of your runes and your E combined with your auto attack will deal a nice chunk of poke damage. It's a simple passive that does more damage than you'd expect and forces you as an enchanter support to get aggressive and poke the enemy more instead of just staying in the backline shielding all the time. And it pairs really well if you have an ADC like Misfortune, Jhin, or Neela, since the extra add-on damage can really start to hurt after a couple procs even if the person you're targeting happens to be a squishy. It also procs on monsters, so compared to other enchanters you can actually help speed up taking Drake or helping the jungler leash early to clear faster. I guess you could say you're applying a lot of leverage with this passive.
Why must you be so constantly irksome?
Yeah, sorry. Hand job is your Q. Now I have to make one thing clear because a lot of people seem to misunderstand this. This ability is a root that lasts 1 second, not a hook. Also, if it hits, you slow yourself for 30% and you can't auto attack. But if it hits, you can recast the ability and reposition the enemy hit. There is no range on the distance you can recast this ability. And if you shove a champion, all enemies hit by them are stunned for 0.5 seconds, which can actually be kind of useful as a light CC to stop channels and stuff. But personally, my favorite use of this ability is the amount of control you have over where someone is positioned. Have a Talia or Ziggs on your team, you can shove targets directly into their minefield. You can keep people in Shaco boxes for longer, drag them into turrets if they keep walking out of it, and you can make sure enemies stay in lasers like Lux and Vel'Koz's ult. Plus, you can drag the enemy ADC closer to yours if they happen to outrange them or drag them away from their support. It's so satisfying to know you have such a white knuckle grip on someone else's movement and that they can't do anything about it short of a cleanse. But even cleanse can't save you from this kind of domination. God, just fucking bite me till I bleed.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, this next one's gonna be long, so bear with me. Your W is Bailout. You can target yourself or an ally and give an attack and movement speed buff that lasts for 5 seconds to become stronger while they're facing or running towards enemy champions or minions. The duration of Bailout is reset if they get a kill within 6 seconds of having damaged the enemy champion. If the person with Bailout takes fatal damage, they will reset the full HP that rapidly decays until they die. While they're in this burning state, Bailout will continuously reset itself on them. This effect can only happen once per application of Bailout, and you can't put your W on a target that's already burning. If the person burning gets a kill on a champion within 6 seconds, Bailout will give them back 20% of their HP and reset your W timer back to 5 seconds. Okay, that took like 80 takes to get all that. Fucking hell, really takes your breath away.
I prefer my takeovers to be hostile. Indulge me.
This is probably one of the coolest buffs in the game. You essentially force cocaine down your allies' nose and make them feel invincible, so much so that they refuse to die when they should be dead, only for you to hit them with a shot of adrenaline when they OD. It is fucking hilarious to watch your ADC die several times in your lane, only for you to just be like, yeah, no, you're not dead. You still need to lick my boots, skank. You heal them by abusing them. Renata, you know, she really does break the mold by being the only enchanter that's as abusive as she is. And it gets even funnier when she puts this thing on someone other than the ADC. Put your W on an Olaf, Mundo, or my girl Briar, and you just got a bunch of roided out freaks running down people refusing to die. There's no escape and there's no hope, so you might as well put on the collar.
Doesn't matter how loud you bark or how hard you bite. A lapdog's a lapdog.
Loyalty program is your E. She fires a skill shot that loops around her before traveling to the targeted destination, shielding herself and all allies hit in the line and around her. Any enemies hit by the skill shot take damage and get slowed by 30%. The damage of this thing early is kinda bad, but when you pair it with some runes like Scorch and Airy, it really does start to hurt after 2 or 3, especially if your opponent is another enchanter or you're just hitting the ADC. Alternatively, you can run Shield Bash so that when you hit someone with your E, you can follow it up with an auto attack for an extra bit of damage. The shield amount of this thing is deceptively high, so Shield Bash is actually kind of a worthy investment, which only gets better when you run a Revitalize and Guardian. It's a solid ability and the one you'll be maxing first in lane since it's so reliable and gives a consistent amount of damage and shielding. I don't actually have a sex joke to segue this part of the video, so I want her to ride me till she breaks my pelvis. And finally, we have your ultimate, Hostile Takeover. God fucking damn, is this ability awesome to use. You genuinely feel like you're about to unleash something ungodly whenever you activate this thing. Renata fires a massive Nami wave of mustard gas in the line. Any and all enemies hit by the cloud receive a 100% attack speed boost and size increase for the duration, becoming berserk. During this time, enemy champions will target each other no matter what, applying any and all on-hit effects they might have to each other. This ability is devastating in tight spaces, and you essentially make it so that enemies kill each other. It is so satisfying to see the enemy Caitlyn 3-shotting her own squishies or just watches Udyr waste his awakened Q on his own tank. But this isn't just good for making the enemy team kill each other outside of chat. You can use it to force people to keep fighting you when they want to run away, stall them out until your carries catch up, or use it to run away by forcing them to attack their own minions. It is a really versatile ult that can be used in plenty of smart ways given the right opportunity, making it so you have more control over the battlefield and how things go compared to your other more submissive enchanter counterparts. Now, this isn't to say that Renata is 100% broken. She definitely has her faults like other supports. The main one being that she doesn't have that much range and can get caught out really easily if the enemy team is smart about it. The range of her Q is actually really short but can still screw over people if they get hit by it. Her E is very slow and the damage isn't that high to be that significant of an impact. Plus, it's very hard to shield your allies if they keep running away from you. A lot of ADCs right now that are popular just really don't pair well with her, and they can't utilize her W and revive all that well. Her ult is really slow and predictable, and even if you have an ADC that pairs well with her, if the person behind the wheel is a bitch, she can't maximize her buffs very well, and we'll have to wait out until mid-game to find a bruiser and assassin to give them to. Should you play Renata? If you like enchanters but feel like you're not impacting the game, absolutely. She'll take a few games to get used to since she's not exactly like other enchanters, but she can be a lot stronger than other supports like Janna, Lulu, or even Yuumi when you know what you're doing and who to buff. Overall, Renata is a solid support that I think deserves a lot more appreciation, both gameplay-wise and, I mean, come on. You can't say she doesn't look dynamite.
Throw scraps to the hungry, and they thank you for the feast.
This is the kind of woman that makes you rethink your fetishes.